just not that into you. Okay? And sometimes it's hard to take. I remember this tour that I was on, and I remember the guy. I remember his face like it was yesterday. This was probably 15 years ago. Until you meet the woman, right? Until you actually meet her, you really don't have, quote unquote, real relationship. And keep your wits about you, right? Do not ignore red flags. Do not make excuses. There's a reason why you guys are interested in this, right? There's a reason why you're going over, and that's wonderful. I think one of the main reasons is that this just gives you more opportunity than what you would have in your hometown, in your home city, or here even in the U.S. It just gives you so much more opportunity and so much more assistance to try and meet that right woman, right? And maybe because you realize that there might be a really good fit with the culture where she is and the culture where you are, right? Because she's having problems too, trying to meet that right guy, and you're having issues here, trying to meet the right woman for the things that you want. And so you decide, okay, I'm going to try something like this and go over. But guys, here's a few tips to try to stay realistic. And tell me if I'm off base too much. Tip number one, until you meet the woman, right? Until you actually meet her, you really don't have, quote unquote, real relationship. Okay, you might have kind of a virtual relationship. You might have something like that. But are you engaged before you meet her? No, you're not. You should not really be purchasing an engagement ring and doing those kind of things until you actually meet. When guys call me up now and they say, John, I'm so happy I'm engaged, my first question to them now is, have you met her yet? Because if they tell me no...
It sounds like a logical question you should not be asking.
You shouldn't have to ask that. And I used to not ask that until more and more guys were saying that without first meeting. And I understand, you get caught up in letters and all that, and I love you, we love each other, we love everyone. Okay, that's great. But until you really meet, you really don't know what's really going on, because you just haven't had the opportunity for all the senses to be there, right? And you just don't know what's really going on until the two of you are alone talking. And I don't care if she speaks your language or doesn't speak your language. Use Google Translate, do something. You can use an interpreter at first, but you need to be alone at some point. And you need to be able to talk and really see what's going on with that body language. And keep your wits about you, right? Do not ignore red flags. Do not make excuses for things like, she's not holding my hand.
It's just a cultural difference.
It's just a cultural thing.
Yeah,
is it a cultural thing in the Ukraine for a woman not to hold a guy's hand?
Well, look, on the first date, there could be moments when she is uncomfortable, so the first date, okay.
First date, okay, I'll give you that.
But if it's a second, third date, and there is no physical touch so she doesn't want to hold your hand, just like this, when you walk down the street, you probably should start being concerned a bit.
Yeah. And I know guys that will just continue to pound their head against the wall and continue to blame it on every other external factor they can think of other than the fact that she's just not that into you, okay? And sometimes it's hard to take. Sometimes you have to just move on, and it's hard because we don't want to. We want to make that work, because in our mind, we spent all this time, maybe you wrote a bunch of letters, maybe you did all this, and you built this up in your mind so much to where you want it to work. And damn it, you're going to make it work. You ever see someone trying to get that square peg into that round hole, and they just keep pounding and pounding and pounding, but no matter how hard you pound, it won't go. And you can try and try and try, it's just not going to happen. If you have to try that hard at a relationship, is that a good relationship? I mean, will that probably
And imagine
work
it's all in the beginning, when everything's supposed to go nice and smooth. So what's going to happen later when they try to live together and...
Right. Of course there might be some minor ups and downs when you first meet, right? Of course there might be some misunderstandings. There might be some stuff. Okay, that's fine. But, if it's constantly, I talk about this all the time, if it's constantly you, the man, giving, and getting really nothing back from her, and you have to keep doing that just to stay afloat, like you're treading water, that's no fun. Who wants to be in a relationship like that? I want to be in a relationship where I'm giving, and I'm getting, and I'm giving, and I'm getting. Because guess what? That is a normal, organic, happy, healthy relationship, right? So guys, again, we go back to correspondence and letters and things like that. Yeah, you can play with that all day long. You can write. I'm not a big fan of writing. I will tell you that again. And if you're going to do it, you should do it with a plan, and you should do it with the plan to go meet as soon as possible. But if you get, to the point where you're just writing, and you're building this idea of what she is, you can smell her in your mind, you can feel her in your mind, you do all these things in your mind. Well, your mind's an amazing thing, and it can build the perfect woman, trust me. She's just perfect in your mind, right? But then when you go over and meet her, she's not going to be like that, right? She's going to have her own thoughts and her own things. And yeah, she may be close, and you may have some advantage because you've written to each other and you know enough about each other maybe to move forward quicker if the chemistry is there. But that's a big if, because you don't know if that chemistry, that all-important chemistry, is going to be there or not. You'll never know it through letters. You won't even know it really through a video call, although I highly recommend a video call because I think it speaks volumes much more than letters do, and you get a better idea of the personality and everything, and a little bit of the chemistry. But you still won't know that chemistry until you go over and you meet. And I get it, going over is a little bit of a commitment on your part, right? I mean, you have to be able to do it. But if you're really going to be realistic about this, and you really want to be one of those guys over there that are trying and putting themselves out there, then you need to do it. You just need to bite the bullet and say, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to see. And guess what? When you get over there, you may find that woman that you thought was way up here is perfect isn't. And she isn't all what you thought she was. But because you are going with us, especially if you go on a group tour, but if you even go individually, we can, while you're there, introduce you to other women that maybe you never even knew existed. But because now that we get to know you a little bit and we have wonderful matchmakers, they can say, hey, guess what? That didn't work so good, but how about this woman? Or how about that woman? That might work better for you. And all too often, we find men that will end up marrying the woman that was never on their radar screen, never on a list, never wrote to, but when they went over, it just turned out that, yeah, just bumping into each other, there was chemistry. And then it just moved forward organically. And that's the way it really happens with a lot of our guys.
To be realistic, men must realize: first, letters and replies are from agents that create unrealistic ideas. Second, the substantial cost in pursuing foreign women. Third, marriage required to bring women home. Any other tips?
Well, yeah, Larry, I think that's good advice. The affiliates or agents do help the women, right, with the letters back and forth. And letters can, oh, I love you. You could have all this stuff, and guys do the same thing. I've seen it. So they can get unrealistic, and you have to be careful about that. That's number one. I don't know if the substantial costing in pursuing foreign women, Larry, I don't know if I'd agree too much with that, because I've seen guys spend way more money here dating women, and dating women and getting nowhere than what you could spend over there, and having the option when you get there to meet so many different women for what we charge, at least. To me, it's actually less expensive if you really start doing the math. So I don't know if I would agree that it's more expensive. I've seen guys spend thousands and thousands of dollars dating here and getting nowhere. So, and the marriage required to bring a woman home. Yeah, if you're going to bring someone here and you're going to have a life together, then at that point you would get married. But that's the idea of this, right? It's not just required to bring her home. It's trying to find someone who you want to spend the rest of your life with and you want to marry, whether you bring her home or not.
No one else you Are you ready to get started? Sign up and connect with these real women.
Check out our website at
ukrainesingles.com.